How's it going, everyone? My name is Microcosm, and welcome to this week's episode of our Let's Play series. We are on episode 29, can you believe it? And I was standing here looking at the old village again and noticing, as I'm sure a lot of you have, that it's a bit lopsided. If you look down what is supposed to be the center of the village here, let's say that this is a village center, given that there's a square in the center of the village with a market in it, so that makes sense, right? We have most of the buildings over here, and then on the right hand side, all we've got is our stables with our one lonely horse in it, and forge over here, and there's a distinct lack of anything else on this side. So this week I thought that we'd have to rectify that situation and go and build some generic villager houses, I guess, over here. So we'll do a few of those, but also I think it's time to build another community building. We need a kind of a gathering place, don't we? So I think in this spot here, just in front of our main house on the hill up there, we're going to ow, my knees. We're going to build a bit of a meeting place for these guys, a temple, if you will. You know, without it being in any way religious, it's more of a gathering, meeting, community building. So, given that over here by our iron farm, I still have all the resources that I pulled out of that hole, we can use some of this because we've got some stone here, right? I've got more stone over at the house on the hill as well that we pulled out of the area below it. And so stone for days, and we also have plenty of coal apparently, and iron should we need iron. So we're going to grab some of that stone, we're going to bring it over into our shulker boxes, and we're going to get started at building some buildings. So enough out of me, let's jump straight into a little bit of a time lapse to get that started. So it turns out I didn't use all that much stone anyway, did I? Except down there at the bottom. I used some cobblestone, which I had converted from the raw stone that you saw, because I was running a bit low on that. Aside from that, that's kind of broken the back of it here. It's gotten a few buildings up and it's looking a little more full now, although they're very much in need of decorations and extra bits and pieces to make them look like houses rather than just shells still. So, while you give me a hand doing that, let's have a little bit of a chat. First of all, I just want to say again a little thank you to everybody who watches these on a regular basis, and hello to anybody who might be new on this episode. But there's a few of you out there who turn up nearly every time or every single time, and your support is greatly appreciated. It really makes the whole thing that much more enjoyable when I see you guys enjoy it. And as you watch this, there should be, fingers crossed, there should be a new video of a different type that has been published on the channel. That would have gone up 12 hours previous to this, if everything goes to plan. And it's going to be a style of tutorial that I haven't done before. When I started this channel, I always had the intention of putting in some tutorials and some ideas for people who were kind of starting out in Minecraft. Eventually, when that was going to be, I wasn't quite sure. And of course, learning the ropes on doing Let's Plays, that took some time and a fair bit of effort, you'd be surprised. But now I think that I'm in a position that I can probably put some effort into different projects. And so you might see some extra content, different bits and pieces going up. And I hope you like those too. If there's a good response on that particular video, then you can probably guarantee that I'll be doing some more of those style of videos. But either way, there's going to be different kinds of content on this. It's not just going to be Let's Plays. Having said that, do not fret if you're a fan of the Let's Play style of video, because it's not going anywhere. It's going to be back with a vengeance even after this series ends. So let's have a little chat about that whilst we're here. See, we have a Java version 1.18 fast approaching, like really fast approaching. And it looks fantastic, doesn't it, folks? If you're keeping up with the experimental releases, and now the pre-releases as we speak are on the way. Every few days we've got a new one, it seems, and they look amazing. So I have decided finally that I will be doing a new series of Let's Play as soon as that drops. And so to give myself some time to work on that Let's Play and have it be decent quality for you guys, and also to work on some other projects for you to enjoy, I have decided that I'm going to take a little bit of a break. Yes, I know. It sounds like I'm going away for ages. I'm not going away at all, as it happens, because I will still be releasing content. I'm not going anywhere, but the Let's Play will be over shortly. Now, there are a couple more episodes to go with this. We have next week's episode, which I have some interesting things planned for. I hope you enjoy them. Some big bills. Big bills. Yeah. But not long after that, I'll be right back with a brand new Let's Play series based in 1.18. And we'll be starting from scratch with nothing all over again, because I want a brand new world with 1.18. This one is probably going to live a little longer than this world did. Not that this was a short-lived world. We're up already to episode 29, and there's going to be a couple more episodes too. So that's a decent length for a Let's Play series, I think. And then in the last episode of this series, which is still a couple of weeks away yet, I have something special planned, which I'm sure you'll enjoy. So stick around, don't go anywhere, come back, enjoy those, and then maybe check out the new content and let me know what you think. It really Really matters to me what you guys say you like and what you think works and what you think doesn't work. So don't be afraid to leave comments and let me know what you think of what's coming out and what you might like to see as well. But in the meantime, I don't mean to sound like I'm wrapping this up right now, because I am not. We have a lot of work to do still here. There's things that I want to get done in this world that the world itself deserves, and I think you guys deserve to see done. So that's what we're working on, and we will get it finished. Also, if you've been watching this series, if you've watched a decent amount of it, or if you have been here since the start, drop me a comment and let me know what your favorite parts were of the entire series. Is there anything that stood out to you, or anything that gave you a chuckle, or anything that you used in a world of yours, perhaps? Something that was built or an idea that was given to you. That would be very interesting to hear from you guys. But you've had enough of watching me build walls and put in windows for now, right? And ramble on about the future. So I'm going to get busy here and start decorating up these houses just like we did with the ones over here. So we're under no illusions of what it's going to look like. These are going to fit in just the same as these houses here. We're going to have this kind of variation on the roofs and some overgrown vines on the top, chimneys here and there, and of course we're going to do a little bit of variation on the sides and everything like that. You know, all the things that we did with the other houses, we're going to build these into. So rather than bore you with getting all those details in, I'll come back when some of them are done, and we'll also do some street lights and maybe a tree or two eventually as well in this area. Let's make it fit in. Now, as they say, we are sucking diesel. We're getting stuff done. Doesn't that look a lot better? That took a bit of time, not gonna lie. Let's walk through it a little bit and let me show you what I've done. Most of these, no, I lie. All of these are just dollhoused, meaning there's nothing inside. Nothing. Empty. I did do a little floor for all of them though. And even some of them have better ceilings than this one. But they can be done later. Hey, listen, if I don't get it done, maybe we'll do a world download if enough of you ask for it. And you can do it. That's it. Get the viewers to do it. Let's walk through. We've got some little walls here. What do you think? Should I put walls on top of the walls? Would that work? I'll look at it later. Maybe a fence. That might help. This one has 2 doors. I don't know why. It turned out that way. At first of all, this was going to be a porch of sorts, but it turned into a door. So it has a front door and a side door, or a front door and a side door, depending on what mood you're in. And inside, again, empty. But each one may be empty, but they look okay on the outside, don't they? We even have our lampposts dotted throughout, see? And I think that makes a nice difference to the place. Hey, listen, I went to all the effort even of putting stones down. We got quite detailed with this. I bone mealed the area. It looks pretty filled out. Given that it wasn't here like 5 minutes ago. Pretty decent, isn't it? Yeah, this little house is the last one in the row. This is looking kind of empty up here, if I'm honest. I'm not sure if I should try and put something up there. We'll have a look from Ye Old House on the Hill. See if it looks terribly empty. I've got a little wall that I put down here as well. What do you think? Just kind of fill the area out and make it look like a retaining wall, like it's holding back. This was very much, could probably do a wall over there, but it was very much just surrounded by hills. So I thought a retaining wall might look the business in here. Anyway, it looks, let's jump up and have a look. I think it looks more like a village now than a half a village. Fingers crossed, because I haven't looked at it from up here. Yes. That's far better, I think. We, of course, have this empty space down here, and that's on purpose because we talked about putting in our community building. And listen, let me stop gabbing and get straight into that, because that's going to fill this out nicely. And it'll be the finishing touch. And welcome back. And I say welcome back because it is now the next day here in the old real life. Yeah. And in the meantime, our little house on the hill here has gotten an interesting view. This. It already had a kind of an interesting view. That. This weird chunk stuff happening over there. But this is a nice house to live in now, isn't it? I mean, it's top real estate, this. That's a nice view, I think. And let's have a look at it. We'll go down along here. This is the overgrown kind of back part of it. You see there's not much down there, just a little pathway and some overgrown grass at the back. It's not very well kept because I guess our groundskeeper is this dude. Yeah. And he doesn't have opposable thumbs. So it gets difficult to cut grass. This is it from the side. Anyway, being the next day in real life, I have been scuppered with my plans that we've spent so long talking about in this episode. So let's talk about that as we're having a look at this community building. So as I was talking to you about what was going to happen in the next series, etc., I then started building this, and that very same day we had an announcement from Mojang. As you've all heard by now, Java Edition 1.18 will be out on November 30th, which is not very long from now. And as a matter of fact, is even before the last episode was due for this. What do you think of this, by the way? You liking it? Shout louder. Thank you very much. Let's go and look at it from a distance. So November 30th is going to be an interesting day. This is great news. It's fun news. I'm really excited. I'm really looking forward to it. I'm sure you all are too. There's been hype around this since they announced 1.17 or Caves and Cliffs. That's more difficult than you might think to say. Caves and Cliffs Part 2. Hey, that's okay, isn't it? Let's just pause for a second and look at this because I am very, very happy with that build and the way that it's fit in. Now it hides our little house on the hill from here, but it's kind of serving the purpose that I wanted it to serve, because as you walk around the village now, really previously everything was about the same height, but now as you walk through and get to the marketplace, it starts to draw the eye, doesn't it? There's things moving in the peripherals. And you look over, there's a big ass community building over there. Yeah, I'm liking that. What do you think, buddy? Huh? You are selling everything that I already have. Except that brown dye, which would have been useful, 3 or 4 months ago. Thanks, mate. Yeah. So, what does that mean for what I was saying before? Well, that's a damn good question. This is why I bring you along. This is why you guys are welcome as viewers, because you ask good questions like that. Nothing. Nothing is the answer. I've decided. I had to think about it, and I've decided I'm not changing the plans. I did consider changing the plan and running at it very, very quickly, but I'm not going to. See, this is. I've got an idea about this too. Shall I tell you? Shall we just do it? Yeah, we should probably just do it. So come see the next couple of episodes to see what happens there. So the plan is not changing. In short, we're going to go ahead, do another couple of episodes for this series, and then do a 118 episode after a little bit of a break. I don't think there's any harm in that. Let's have a look inside. Empty. Useless. Lazy. Don't worry. It'll be done. Now that I know we're going to have time, it's going to be done. So we'll do our 118 series after a little bit of a break, and you guys can come back and enjoy that. In the meantime, we can get our replay mod and our other mods and bits and pieces and texture packs and Optifine and everything that usually hang behind the release of major updates. They will have time to catch up, and then we'll have them as we start our new series. Sorry, I hope I'm not boring you guys. I'm enamored with this building. and looking at it from different angles and seeing it appear as we come through different areas. I'm quite happy. I think it ties together the entire village, to be honest. Let's go to our usual vantage point that we like to look at the village from, and where we started this episode looking at the village from. And now here's the difference. You got to admit, we got a fair bit done this episode, right? Yeah. And that village is starting to look complete. But there is one more thing that I want to get done, need to get done in this episode. And I've been very remiss, if I'm honest. Are you the same dude? Yeah, you're the same dude. Very remiss to not have done this by now, because over here is our very good boy, Witness. He's sitting around here somewhere. There he is. Hello, boy. Hello. He's been excellent at keeping his trap shut. So we should reward him, I think, with a little dog kennel, right? Place to live. He's been sitting out in the weather for a fair while now. So I'm going to make him a little dog kennel right next to the horse stables here, because he's good friends with the horses that live in this area. Horse that lives in this area. There is a horse. There he is. And he likes the beach. So we're going to build him a kennel right here. So let's start off with a little bit of this. And a little bit of that. And we'll put a simple little roof on it. Keep the weather off. And hey presto, I've made a giant monstrosity of a kennel for our dog, which rivals the size of some of our houses for our villagers. But why not? He deserves it. Don't you boy? You deserve it. Yeah, giant bloody kennel. Okay, well, let's put down some walls to keep him safe. And in here, we're going to fill it with a couple of things. We're going to put some coarse dirt in, because he's a dog and he makes a mess, you know. And we're also going to put in some hay, because where I come from, let's put it the other way around though. Yeah, where I come from, we don't pamper our dogs so much. You know, if they have a really lazy life, they become a really lazy dog. That's the thinking, at least. So they live outside for the most part, and they get a nice hay bed, and they get plenty of food and exercise when they need it. And they live nice, long, happy lives. And I'm sure your dogs do too, no matter how you keep them, as long as you're nice to them. Now he's going to need some fresh water, isn't he? So we've got a little cauldron here. I think we'll pop it over here in the ground. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, that'll work, won't it? I get some water for it. There you go. And we have flower pots for food bowls. See how that looks. Yeah, that works too. Very good. We better light it up inside, for fear he get fat on the bones of skeletons. And speaking of which, he's got to have some treats lying around as well, right? And what's a good dog kennel without a few bits and pieces of doggy treats lying around the place that they've left chewed up? So we got a bone over here, and we got a bone over here, and we have nice, juicy, tasty piece of zombie flesh over there. Wow, you scared the life out of me, buddy. Where the hell did you come from? And what are you selling? Jungle saplings, nothing much of anything good. Do you mind? Oh, wait a second. Red sand. Again, thanks for the late show up. You would have been handy a while ago. I don't think I want your red sand right now, though. Do you mind? Not... Yeah. Get out of my doghouse, or you'll be in my doghouse. Anyway, we put our stick over here, right? A little peg in the ground, so that we can put our lead on it as well, because every good dog needs to be tied up occasionally for its own safety and the safety of unwanted visitors. Before that, we need a little bit more coarse dirt around the place so that we can see that he's been running around and busy within his enclosure, right? So just like that, it looks a little more doggy lived in. Do you mind not hawking in my ear, buddy? That'd be pleasant. Crikey. Alright, we need some bone meal. Right, we don't want too high grass in here, but a little bit of grass. Because he's been running around, but in the corners here and there. Oh, that's awkward. There you go. In the corners here, there's a little bit of grass left where he hasn't dug it up. A little pathway in. Just so you can see that I've been coming to feed him. Let's get that out of the way. And we'll take this pathway over this direction so that you can see that you can come straight up from this direction and see where the bridge is and going around to the stables. And it'll come directly in here to his little kennel. One finishing touch. Like that. And let's dye that blue, just because. Okay? Lovely. And finally, it's time to let the boy come into his little kennel area and get settled in. Come on, boy. He's not going to do. Come on. He's not going to do what I want him to do, are you? Come in here. Come on, boy. There you go. Do you love it? Do you love it? Okay, let's put you on a lead. Say it like that. Now, there you go. Pop him over towards his food and his drink and everything like that. Brilliant. I'll just pop some leaves around the edges to fill it out a little bit and make it look a little grown over, like it's established and it's been here for a while. And there we go. That's our little dog kennel for witness. Should we get him a friend to play with? It looks a little bit lonely down there. Maybe I can manage that in the next episode. But that, folks, is all the time I have for this one, which is just as well because I am knackered from all that bloody building, as you can imagine. Don't forget to check out that new tutorial episode and let me know what you think of it. Your input would be greatly appreciated. As usual, stay safe, have fun, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye! Woo!